Okay, so you don't know me, and I'm not a new artist, but like I'm new to YouTube, relatively new. And I'm trying to find a way to make content that fits to me because in the past I tried to create videos that were more like other people's content, but it didn't resonate with the way I feel, and I took all of them down, or I have like at least 5 videos that I started creating, and in the end, I never finished them. I am trying to find a way to make long form content where I have fun. I thought about making storytime animations, but it just isn't what I want to do. I see a lot of new channels on my For You page that are like, I'm a new storytime animator. Hello, welcome. Um, but I just don't feel like I want to be a storytime animator. I watch a lot of storytime animator content, but it's just not something I'd do. I think in the end, I'm more of the person who just creates art and shows the result, because recording the process of creating something is just, it takes me out of the creation process. I think a lot of artists share the same problem, where they feel watched and suddenly they are incapable of creating art because they know they are currently recording themselves or get recorded, and that completely takes them out of this state of mind where they feel calm and creative. So yeah, I'm also not the most talk active person on YouTube, definitely not. But I also don't like short form content. I do doom scroll a lot, which sucks. I really want to get out of that. But I don't like creating short form content. It doesn't bring me any joy. But I also want to share something that a lot of people will see, and with long form content, you need a lot more time until people see you or click on your video. And I don't actually mind that not many people see what I create, because in the end, I feel like the more people know me, the less I feel like I will be able to create. I once heard a phrase where someone said, when you start getting money for your art, you might lose the ability to create art in the same way as you did before. And I really don't want this to happen because I'm currently very happy with the way I create art. And so I'm currently trying to become an animator. It is a struggle because I kind of refuse to watch a lot of tutorials about how to start, and the whole animating a head turn, animating a ball, whatever. I don't like this. I'm just going to animate something that seems fun to me, and if I'm not able to animate it just yet, I will keep it in a storyboarding animation style, like really rough animatic, and wait until my skills are at the skill level where I can finally create this animation. And I also apologize if my English isn't that good, or like if I make a lot of mistakes. It's not my first language. But yeah, I don't like the way I'd have to be to gain a lot of followers. And so I'll just post whatever and stop posting stuff that I don't actually feel like posting, just to keep the algorithm running in my favor. Because in the end, it's about me being happy with what I create and not doing something just to have people see me. And maybe at someday I will have a nice following of people who interact with me, or whom I can interact with. Maybe some collaborations with other creators, that would be fun. But for now, I'm happy with myself. And I also want to push myself to new limits. Like, I want to find out what I'm able to create. For example, in the last 2 weeks, I created a 4-second animation, and it took me 2 days to create it, and a 3-minute visual novel pilot, or like concept. But I'm not sure if I will keep going with that story, because it was just a random story that came into my head, and I was like, yeah, let's do it. I created this character, and I looked at them, and I was like, that could actually be the character of a story. And so I just created an entire 3 minutes visual novel pilot in an entire day. I'm not good at programming, so I still have to learn how to do so. So I can actually create games. To make a list of all the things that I want to be able to do is, I want to be able to animate, maybe not professionally, but being able to animate long form videos, or like stories. I want to be able to make games. I want to be able to draw better than I can now. And I also want to be able to 3D animate, or 3D sculpt. I mean, I already sculpted a lot of stuff, but it's not yet where I want it to be. And it'll take time to get there. So, but yeah, I don't feel like I can do a lot of the things that most content creators are able to do, because in the end, my mind is just not made for scheduled uploads and being on time, having everything planned out. I just, if I plan too much, then the entire thing is just ruined for me. And I know a lot of authors, or yeah, generally people who create stories, say you have to plan a story, but as it turns out, every time I plan too much, the entire thing just gets ruined. Like, the entire thing just, if I think of it too much, I lose this drive to create a fleshed out story. And so my works might be a little bit more abstract in the end, because they might not even make sense, because I just put something on paper that I have in my mind. And sometimes it's just dreams that I had that I just want to visualize. So it won't be anything big or crazy or a long project, because right now I don't think I have the ability to work on something longer than maybe 3 weeks or 4 weeks, because after that I lose the interest that I had. But I also have a lot of story ideas, and I want to create something that really resonates with me. But yeah, so if you are an artist, or a writer, or someone creative, and you resonate with whatever I'm currently yapping about, I don't even know what I'm talking about. I'm currently sitting in my car and just, yeah, rambling about stuff. But yeah, if you resonate with any of these things, it would be cool to have some of your feedback, or like just a comment. because I like talking to people, but I'm really not good at making entertaining content without getting burned out. It's just not my thing. But yeah, so you can't expect much from me, except that I will do my best to create stuff. Because in the end, no matter how much frustration animation makes me feel, it is something I genuinely enjoy and can work towards. While, for example, storytime animation is something where I feel a lot of hatred towards when I sit down and try to animate an audio that I recorded. It's just really something that I'm unable to sustain over a longer time period. So I do a lot of things besides drawing or animating. I also like to make music, and I have to get into the digital music because I usually just make music on my guitar, and I sing to it, and then I record it with my tablet. But I I can't really record it professionally in a way where it will sound good. It's just me strumming and singing about sad things. Um, and otherwise I just exist. I'm also a little bit into gardening. I'm currently growing some basil plants, and I think also tomatoes, but I'm not sure. I also have like a lot of sometimes like I have a stinging nettle and another plant where I don't know what it is. It's just I refuse to rip them out and just throw them out because in the end they're still plants and they're actually quite pretty, and it gives the whole thing a little bit more variety. I don't really plan on eating the basil or the tomatoes. It's just to have something nice in my room. And yeah, so I'm very surprised that they didn't die. I seem to have developed the ability to water plants, which I didn't have before. I don't know when that developed, but I'm glad. Plants don't die in my room, which is very nice. And I'm not so happy with where I live or generally my life. And I'm hoping that I can move away at some point. I've been stuck in the same place for years now, and that has kind of taken a toll on my mental health, which also is why I create a lot of art. It's the form of therapy that I can afford. I was very happy when I was able to afford this tablet because now I can actually draw. I used to draw on this very, very old computer of mine, or like it was the computer of my dad, and it wasn't really working anymore. It was like super, like I think it was as old as me. And when I started out with digital art, it was alright, right? It was enough for me. But the more I drew, the less it really helped me because it was constantly buggy, and especially um when I started animating, I couldn't animate on krita. I use krita mainly for my art and animation because well, Flipperclip sucks when you don't have a subscription, and I don't know how much it sucks with subscription, but I guess it sucks still either way. I'm not sure. You tell me. um but yeah, so when I was able to buy the tablet, I was like really, really, really happy. And it was a lot of money, but it was worth it in every way. And I really hope that the apocalypse uh, stays away for a while so I can enjoy the tablet. But yeah, there's a lot going on in the world currently. So being able to just be on my tablet and do anything that I like, having my own money, having the ability to just do whatever I want to, is just so freeing. And I really hope that, like, if you are still underage, it's just depending on the context and depending on what situation you're in, turning 18 and becoming an adult is such a great feeling, because there will be a time where you just realize that you can do whatever you like, especially once you have a bank account, once you have a stable income, even if it's just a little bit, from mini jobs, from whatever. It's just such a great feeling, because now I can actually pay for subscriptions or pay for just something that I want to have, and I can decide whatever it is. I can decide if I spend all the money that I have. I can decide to save it up and buy myself something else. But yeah, where I'm at now is better than where I used to be. And turning 18 was definitely something that changed my life, because it gave me so many more opportunities. And if you're still a teenager, it's really, it can be so relieving. Of course, I'm still stuck at my parents' house. I'm I wanted to move out as soon as I turned 18, but I'm still stuck here. And even though it's better now and I feel better, I still want to go, and I want to move out, but everything is so expensive, and I don't really know anyone. I do have friends, but they are in the same situation as me. They're all stuck somewhere. So moving to them, or moving to some other place with them, it just isn't possible. Not at this current time. So I kind of hope that I'm able to finish my studies, go somewhere where I'm more free. And I think I'll be scared once I'm alone, because I've never really been alone with myself. I've been alone with myself in my room, right? I had a lot, I'm an overthinker. I'm constantly overthinking. And there was a time where I didn't have any friends, but I still was around my family. Even if I was in my room, I still had someone I could go to. So I'm worried once I move out, I'll feel very lonely, but it also can be the complete opposite, that I'll feel free for the first time in my life. So I'm currently in the summer holidays. I have summer holidays for the next 3 weeks, until the 11th of August. And I really want to create a project just for myself, which I would post on YouTube, depending on what it is. I'm not really sure what's going to be, but I want it to be a story. I want it to be something that has a storyline, and it doesn't have to have a set ending, but just something that can stand alone for itself. I did have ideas, but I'm not sure if my ability to animate is quite there yet, so it might just be a second part to the visual novel pilot that I already had, or just that I actually start learning how to program so I can make an actual visual novel. Because from what I see, I am definitely able to create sprites and actually something coherent. So I should be able to make something happen. So it would be cool if you could, if you want to, you could just leave a like there, and I'll see what I can cook up. I'm not sure what's going to be. Probably something sad. I know myself. So even if I feel good, it's always going to be something sad. Except I push myself to make something happy, but mostly it's just something very depressing. Um, but yeah, that's me. That's me, I think. So yeah, I'm currently thinking about buying the full version of Nomad Sculpt because I I sculpted a couple of things, and I think this program is really really good. I really it's something, it gives me the ability to not think about shading, because in 2D drawing it's so, like, you have to think about all the things that need to be included to make something look a certain way, while with 3D sculpting you can just sculpt the way you want something to be, and then in the end you can apply filters to make it look in a specific way, which which makes me be less stressed, because I don't have to think about that part of being creative anymore. And I also have to practice talking. I have to practice how to talk to a screen, and especially how to talk to myself in a way where I don't skip words or skip whole thoughts, because in the end I'm trying to still entertain the person watching this or listening to this, while at the same time not just doing it for the other person but also for myself, so I can actually get somewhere. And it's just me trying to understand myself better. And it's easy if I record messages for my friends, because then I know them, so I'm a little bit less scared of what I say or what I do, because I know and trust them to understand what I mean. While when I talk for the internet, or when I know I will put this on the internet, I know I will either have to live with the fact that I stutter a lot and I leave that in the recording, or I cut it all out and hope it doesn't sound too bad once I start cutting the audio, because it's just I definitely need to learn a lot. But yeah, it's not my first video where I talk. The only thing is I took everything else down. It's just, it didn't feel like me. I really tried, I tried to write a script and read off of that script to sound entertaining enough, but it's just not it. It's not it. It's not it. Maybe it's fun for someone else, but I'll just talk about stuff, and once I'm done, I'll be somewhere, and maybe my intent to talk about a specific topic just completely changed the course of the entire video. And so yeah, I'll experiment, and so it might just be that this video will be the only video that is this way. But I feel like if I create videos that are just me talking about whatever I want to talk about, then it'll be easier for me to recreate it again. Because I don't have the energy to, I don't have the energy to sit down for hours and edit a video. It's it's not a skill that I also want to learn, because it's just nothing I'm very interested in. So I like to watch people ramble about stuff without really having a script. I mean, of course, I could make a list of things that I want to talk about in the video, but it's just, as with my stories, once I plan too much, it loses everything that I wanted to create. It loses the plot, it loses me. Once I plan everything out, I lose the interest in it. And then I have to start all over again and think about how I want this project to be. So yeah, that's it, I think. So if you liked if you liked me talking about so many things and it will happen again probably if I enjoyed it myself, and I will see that once I get to edit this video, then yeah, I don't know, stick around or don't. I doesn't matter. um but yeah, I have a couple of animations on my channel so far. They are very short, so if you want to check them out, you can. They're just like, I have one about the Amazing Digital Circus, where I voice acted myself, and I don't like that, but like anyway. um, and well, other ones where I didn't voice act. So yeah, but yeah, I hope I can create something that I actually enjoy, and not just because some big author or content creator told me how to make videos, because I always see these videos on my For You page where they're like, how to make content to be more appealing to a broader scale of people, and then it's just like content about money and or how to use certain programs, and I'm like, yeah, but that's not what I want to make. I don't mind if my video only gets like 10 views. I do mind, because I feel like more people could enjoy whatever I'm rambling about. But in the end, I rather have something that is niche than something that a lot of people enjoy, because I see a lot of bigger content creators and they seem to suffer a lot because they have to make their videos better and better, and it's just not something that I want to do. Yes, I'd like to sustain myself with whatever I create, but it doesn't have to be. And it doesn't have to be me who becomes a big content creator. I don't see myself as a content creator. I just want to create my art and my silly stories, and yeah, and if people see it, great. If they don't, doesn't matter. My friends are enough. If my friends say it's genius, then I'll believe them and I'll be very happy. And then I'll keep creating, and you know? So, yeah. I think friends are something very special, and I wish that people will have friends that are really kind, because a lot of people can be very, they all have their own problems, of course, and their own reasons why they are the way they are, but it is hard to find good friends. And I'm very lucky to have friends who appreciate me. So yeah, I keep thinking that's where I end the video, and then I keep coming up with something else, but now I talked enough and I will let you go. If you made it this far, maybe you were drawing or cooking or cleaning or whatever. So I don't know why someone would willingly listen to someone for that long without actually doing something else while doing so. But yeah, thank you for listening slash watching, and maybe I'll see you in the next video.